He had no idea that the dying man on the sidewalk was about to make him a millionaire. But before that, Jamal Washington had to make a choice: save a stranger's life or save his own. Rain pounds down like hammers in downtown Chicago. Jamal runs through the storm toward the most important interview of his life, clutching his resume inside a plastic bag. This one interview could change everything. Then he spots the old white man collapsed on the concrete. His briefcase has burst open, papers flying across the street. The stranger is gasping for air, clutching his chest, his face draining of color. Jamal checks his phone. 7 minutes until the interview begins. The building is 4 blocks away. Everyone else walks past, but Jamal pauses. He doesn't yet realize that this moment will bring him face to face with the most powerful CEO in Chicago, and that this very stranger will hand him the keys to a $50 million empire. But to understand how Jamal ended up here, we need to go back 6 hours earlier. His alarm screams at 5:30 a.m. in his cramped Southside apartment. The sound bounces off thin walls that barely hold back the noise from upstairs neighbors. He doesn't hit snooze, he can't afford to. Today is different. Today could change everything. He climbs out of bed, stepping carefully around the bucket, catching water from the ceiling leak. The landlord promised to fix it months ago, right after raising the rent. At the bathroom mirror, Jamal rehearses his interview answers for the 100th time. Why do you want to work for Morrison and Associates Financial? His reflection stares back, dark circles under brown eyes that still burn with hope despite everything. 3 years of unemployment will break a man down, but somehow it made him stronger. Because I believe in building something bigger than myself, he whispers. The suit hanging on his bedroom door isn't his. It belongs to Mr. Rodriguez from 3B, who wore it to his son's wedding. Jamal borrowed it after his own clothes were ruined when the basement washing machine flooded. He smooths the fabric with an iron set over a towel on his kitchen table. Every crease matters today. The apartment may be small, but it's spotless. His mother raised him that way. Son, we might not have money, but we've got dignity. Keep your space clean, keep your head up. Morning, Mama, he says, peeking into her room. She's already awake, testing her blood sugar with the glucose meter they struggle to keep stocked. How are you feeling? Better, she lies. He knows the truth. The diabetes has been getting worse and insulin costs $400 a month. Even with her part-time grocery job, they are always choosing between medicine and rent. You nervous about the interview? She asks. A little, he admits. What if they take one look at me and decide I don't belong? She takes his hand, her fingers thinner than he remembers. Listen to me, Jamal Washington. Your father fought 2 wars for this country. He worked 3 jobs to give us a life. You've got his heart, his strength, and something more. What's that? You see people. Really see them. That matters more than any degree. On his nightstand sits a photo of his father in uniform, Staff Sergeant Michael Washington, who died when Jamal was 12. Before he passed, he taught his son the most important lesson. Character is what you do when nobody's watching. Jamal counts exact bus fare from a jar labeled Interview Fund, $2.50, 3 weeks of saving quarters. His research notes are scribbled on napkins and receipt backs. He couldn't afford notebooks. Morrison and Associates Financial, founded 30 years ago, respected for community investment and ethical business. That's the company that helped rebuild the community center, his mother had said. They sound like good people. His phone buzzes, a text from his little sister Maya, away at community college on a partial scholarship. Today's the day you make it, right, big brother? The pressure weighs heavy. His family believes in him. His neighbors believe in him. Yesterday, Mrs. Patterson from downstairs gave him a good luck card. Mr. Brooks at the corner store handed him a free energy drink. For your big day, he winked. But belief doesn't pay for insulin. Belief doesn't stop leaks or fix heaters. He doesn't just want this job. He needs it. From his window, he sees the Chicago skyline, towers filled with people who never choose between food and medicine, people who never count quarters for bus fare. Jamal isn't bitter. That's the thing about him. 3 years of rejection never made him angry. It only made him more determined to help others once he got his chance. You ready, son? His mother calls from the kitchen. As ready as I'll ever be. He steps into the gray morning, watching storm clouds gather. His cracked phone shows a 90% chance of heavy rain. No umbrella. He can't afford one. Please just wait until after the interview, he whispers. The bus arrives on time. Jamal boards and takes a seat near the back. As they pass through downtown, the bus rolls past Morrison and Associates headquarters, 37 floors of glass and steel reaching for the clouds. In a few hours he'll be inside trying to prove he belongs. He has no idea his greatest opportunity is waiting, disguised as the worst timing. And then the storm breaks. Not just rain. A Chicago downpour that floods streets and drives people running for shelter. Jamal steps off the bus 3 blocks away. The sky tears open. Water pouring in sheets so thick he can barely see 10 feet ahead. His phone reads 9:52 a.m., 8 minutes left. The streets are chaos. Cars crawl through waterlogged intersections. Horns blare, sirens scream. Steam bursts from manholes like the city is alive. He pulls his resume closer in its plastic shield and runs. That's when he sees him. An older white man, late 60s, struggling with a leather briefcase. He's dressed in an expensive suit, but the wind wins against him. The briefcase rips away, the locks snap open, and papers scatter like confetti. Financial documents, legal files, business cards, all swallowed by the flood. No, 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 the man gasps, lunging for them. His shoes slip on the wet sidewalk and he falls hard. Jamal stops. His phone shows 9:53 a.m., 7 minutes left. The man is on his knees, scrambling for soaked papers, his white hair plastered to his scalp, his face darkening red, almost purple. Then Jamal hears it, the sound that changes everything. Help, please. The man's breathing is jagged, short, sharp gasps. His hand clutches his chest. Heart attack? Something worse? Jamal recognizes it. He saw the same thing last year when his mother collapsed under the weight of medical bills. All around, people keep moving. Umbrellas tilted against the storm, heels clicking past, phones pressed to ears. A businessman in a $1,000 coat steps over him without looking. A woman rushes by, shouting about quarterly reports. Nobody notices. Nobody cares. The old man is invisible to them, but not to Jamal. His phone shows 9:54 a.m., 6 minutes left. The Morrison and Associates tower looms ahead, just 4 blocks through the storm, rising above the chaos like a mountain of glass. That building holds the future he's been fighting for. 3 years of unemployment, his mother's insulin, Maya's college dreams, all resting on the next few minutes. But here, on the flooded sidewalk, a stranger is dying. Jamal glances at the scattered papers. Through the downpour, he spots a letterhead, Morrison and Associates. He doesn't have time to process it. The man's breathing is deteriorating. "Sir, can you hear me?" Jamal calls. The man's eyes are wide with fear. "My chest can't breathe." His skin is pale, almost gray, rain mixing with sweat on his forehead. This isn't panic. This could be cardiac arrest. Jamal checks his phone. 5 minutes left. His father's voice echoes in memory. Staff Sergeant Michael Washington, the photo on the nightstand. Character is what you do when nobody's watching. Except now the entire universe feels like it's watching. The old man struggles to rise, collapses again. "Help me, please." Cars splash through puddles, soaking them. A taxi honks, then disappears. Jamal looks at the Morrison Tower again, so close yet impossibly far. He drops his bag. "I've got you, sir. I've got you." What Jamal doesn't know, those papers are worth millions, quarterly reports and filings that could move entire markets. He doesn't know this stranger's business cards read Harold Morrison, chairman and CEO. He doesn't know he's kneeling outside the very building where his interview was set to begin in 4 minutes. All Jamal knows is that someone needs him and everyone else is walking away. But this single act of character will reveal something extraordinary. Because Harold Morrison didn't build a $50 million empire by chance. He built it by noticing what others overlook. The true measure of a person isn't what they do when there's everything to gain, but what they do when there's everything to lose. Jamal kneels beside him. "Sir, what's your name?" "Harold," the man gasps. Harold Morrison. The name means nothing to Jamal yet. His focus is on survival. "Mr. Morrison, I'm Jamal. You're having trouble breathing, right?" Harold nods, face twisted in pain. "Okay, we'll get through this together. Look at me." Jamal dials 911. He knows the signs. Years of caring for his mother taught him. Chest pain, shallow breaths, sweating. It could escalate fast. 911, what's your emergency? "Elderly man, possible heart attack, corner of LaSalle and Madison. Chest pain, difficulty breathing, pale, sweating." The operator responds, "Severe weather has delayed units by 15 to 20 minutes. Jamal's stomach sinks. That's too long. He shoves the phone in his pocket and shrugs off his only good suit jacket, Mr. Rodriguez's wedding suit, and drapes it over Harold. "What are you doing?" Harold gasps. "Keeping you dry, sir." Jamal kneels in icy water, rain soaking through his pants and shirt, but Harold stays shielded. "Your interview. Your clothes." Harold notices even in pain. Jamal blocks the wind with his own body. "Don't worry about that. You matter." Papers dissolve in the water. Financial reports, legal documents, business notes drifting like broken ships. Jamal scoops them up, cramming soggy sheets into the briefcase. "Leave them," Harold whispers. "No, sir. They're important to you." Jamal doesn't know he's saving documents worth $50 million. He just knows they matter to this man. A security guard peeks from the Morrison lobby. "Everything okay?" "This man needs help." "Can you call 911? Jamal pleads. The guard glances at Harold, then at the storm, then retreats inside. Ambulance is probably on its way. Jamal stares in disbelief, then refocuses. "Mr. Morrison, stay with me. Talk to me." Harold's lips and fingernails are turning blue. This is critical. Jamal remembers the paramedic's advice with his mother. Keep them calm, keep them conscious, keep them breathing. "Tell me about your family, Mr. Morrison. Do you have one?" Harold's eyes sharpen slightly. "Wife, Margaret. Married 42 years. That's incredible." "What's she like?" "Stubborn," Harold almost laughs. "Won't let me eat bacon. Says it'll kill me. Sounds like a smart woman who loves you." "Children?" "2 daughters, Sarah and Rebecca, both doctors, following in their father's footsteps. They'd be proud of how strong you are right now." The distraction steadies Harold's breathing. A taxi splashes to the curb. "Need a ride?" The driver calls. Jamal waves desperately. The driver spots Harold collapsed in the flood and shakes his head. "Can't take him, liability, insurance won't cover it." He speeds off. Jamal swallows his fury. Anger won't help Harold. "Mr. Morrison, let's get you against the wall out of the puddle." He braces Harold, lifting most of his weight. Rain-soaked clothes cling to Jamal's body. His borrowed shoes crack apart in the flood, ruined. Harold studies him. "You're getting drenched." "I've been wet before, sir. Won't be the last time." Even through the pain, Harold watches in awe. This young man is sacrificing his chance, his comfort, his dignity for a stranger. "Why?" Harold whispers. "Why help me?" "Because you needed help," Jamal answers. "But your interview, it was important." Jamal checks his waterlogged phone, 10:03. The interview started 3 minutes ago. 3 missed calls from Morrison's HR. The cruel irony cuts deep. The company he longs to join is calling while he kneels in the flood, saving its CEO. "There'll be other interviews," Jamal murmurs, though his chest feels crushed. But they both know it isn't true. In this economy, with his background, chances like this don't come twice. Then at last, sirens slice through the storm. The ambulance can't make it through the flooded intersection, so 2 paramedics leap out with their gear and sprint toward them through the downpour. "What's the situation?" the first paramedic asks, dropping her bag. "Chest pain, difficulty breathing, started about 15 minutes ago." Jamal answers with clarity. "Patient has been conscious the entire time. Name is Harold Morrison, late 60s. The paramedics exchange a look of approval. "Excellent work keeping him stable." They move fast and precise, checking vitals, monitoring blood pressure, fitting an oxygen mask. Harold's color returns almost immediately. "You likely prevented this from becoming much worse," the second paramedic tells Jamal. "Severe panic attacks can trigger cardiac events in older patients." As they lift Harold onto the stretcher, he grips Jamal's wrist with surprising force. "Come with me to the hospital." "Sir, you're safe now." "I should let the professionals." "Please," Harold insists, his eyes urgent. "I need to know you're okay too." Jamal glances at his ruined phone. More missed calls. The interview is over. 3 years of unemployment stretch on. His family's crisis deepens. But this man almost died on a sidewalk and survived only because someone stopped. "Okay, Mr. Morrison, I'll ride with you." In the ambulance, Harold studies Jamal carefully. This young man sacrificed everything. His appearance, his opportunity, his dignity to stand in freezing rain for a stranger. "Jamal?" "Yes, sir." "What was that interview for?" Jamal looks down at the resume dissolving in his hands. "Morrison and Associates, Finance." Harold's eyes widen, but before he can speak, the paramedic interrupts. We're here. Everyone out. What Harold doesn't reveal in that moment will change everything. Because he isn't just any CEO. He's the one who personally conducts final interviews. The one Jamal was supposed to meet 20 minutes ago. And he has just witnessed something no resume could show. A man choosing character over career. 2 hours later, Jamal waits in the hospital, still drenched. His phone is dead. His resume is gone. His borrowed suit is ruined. But Harold Morrison is alive, and that matters most. Mr. Washington? A doctor in scrubs approaches. I'm Dr. Brooks. You came with Mr. Morrison? Yes, is he okay? He's stable. Severe panic attack from stress, but his heart is strong. What you did out there? You likely prevented something far worse. Relief washes through Jamal. Can I see him? He's been asking for you. Harold's private room feels worlds apart from the ER's Jamal knows. Soft light, comfortable chairs, a city view. Harold looks better, color back in his face, and his eyes brighten when Jamal enters. There he is, my guardian angel. How are you feeling, Mr. Morrison? Much better, thanks to you. He sits straighter. Jamal, I need to repay you. Sir, you don't owe me anything. Yes, I do. You sacrificed your interview for me. You ruined your clothes. Let me buy you a new suit. Let me call Morrison and Associates. With respect, I can't accept that. Why not? Because I didn't help you for a reward. I helped because it was the right thing. Harold studies him. The conviction is real. At least let me replace your suit. It was borrowed from my neighbor. But he'll understand. Some things matter more than clothes. Harold pulls $300 from his wallet. Please, for your family. For your mother's medicine. Jamal pauses. He must have mentioned her in the ambulance. I appreciate it, sir, but no. I can't take money from you. You're unemployed. You missed your interview because of me. That was my choice. Harold leans back, astonished. In 40 years of business, everyone he met wanted something. Yet this young man, desperate as he is, refuses. Tell me about yourself, Jamal. What do you do? I'm looking for work. Been unemployed 3 years. I studied business administration. Always wanted to work in finance, helping people build better futures. And the interview today? Entry-level analyst, Morrison and Associates. Harold's pulse quickens, though he hides it. What do you know about the company? They're known for ethics, for investing in communities. They rebuilt the center in my neighborhood. That drew me in. The belief that business should serve people. Success means lifting others. Harold nods, then slides a business card from his bedside. Take this. Jamal glances without much thought. Harold Morrison, chairman and CEO. Sir, you should rest. You've had a long day. So have you. Harold tries to explain, but Jamal gently cuts him off. You don't need to justify anything. I'm just glad you're okay. What will you do now? Keep looking. There'll be other opportunities. Faith is all I've got left. Something stirs in Harold. Not in his heart, but in his spirit. Here stands a man who gave up everything for a stranger, refuses money he needs, yet still holds on to faith. Jamal? Yes, sir. You said character is what you do when nobody's watching. But what about when everyone's watching? The guard, the taxi driver, all those people passed you by. But you stopped. Someone had to. Harold closes his eyes. 30 years of building a company, searching for the right heir to his values, and he just found him on a rainy street. Jamal doesn't know it yet, but what felt like a missed chance was only the beginning. The next morning, something feels different. Back home, Jamal follows his routine. Coffee from a cracked mug, job searches on his old laptop. But the world seems to hum with signals. Baby, his mother calls. There's a fancy black car outside. Jamal peers out. A sleek Mercedes with tinted windows, worth more than his family makes in years. Probably lost, he mutters, but unease flickers inside him. His phone rings, unknown number. He ignores it. Debt collectors call all the time. It rings again. And again. Jamal, you should answer, his mother urges. It's probably nothing good, Mama. The calls persist. On the counter sits yesterday's pile of wet clothes. He fishes out Harold's business card and reads it properly for the first time. Harold Morrison, chairman and CEO, Morrison and Associates Financial. The words strike like lightning. The same company where his interview was supposed to happen. His hands tremble as he grabs his laptop, searches the name. Pages of results flood in. Forbes articles, business journals, a Wikipedia entry with Harold's photo. It's him. The man he saved. The man clutching his chest in the rain. Not just any businessman, but the founder of a $50 million empire. Oh my God, Jamal whispers. What is it, baby? His mother asks, alarmed. The man I helped yesterday? He's the CEO of the company that was supposed to interview me. His mother stares at him. What does that mean? I don't know. Jamal keeps scrolling. Harold Morrison, 68 years old. Built Morrison and Associates from nothing 30 years ago. Known for philanthropy and a character-based business philosophy. One article quotes him. I don't hire based on credentials alone. I hire based on who people are when they think no one is watching. Jamal's phone buzzes again. This time he recognizes the number. Morrison and Associates Human Resources. His pulse quickens. Yesterday their calls came while he was saving Harold's life. Now they're calling again, but why? Is Harold furious that Jamal skipped the interview? Is he filing a complaint about the unprofessional young man who failed to show? Or is it something else? Jamal remembers the hospital. The way Harold asked about his background, his philosophy, his dreams. The way he studied him so intently as if weighing something more than words. The phone stops ringing. Straight to voicemail. Then it starts again. Harold Morrison isn't finished with Jamal Washington. Not even close. This time Jamal answers. Hello? Jamal. This is Harold Morrison. The voice is steady, nothing like the ragged gasps from yesterday's storm. Mr. Morrison, how are you feeling? Much better, thanks to you. I need to see you. Can we meet for lunch today? Sir, you should be resting. I've been resting all morning. But we need to talk. There's something important I need to tell you. Jamal's stomach knots. Am I in trouble? About the interview? Harold laughs softly. No, son. You're not in trouble, but I think you'll find our conversation very interesting. Where would you like to meet? Do you know Mama Rose's on 47th Street? Jamal blinks. His neighborhood diner. A place where he sometimes buys coffee if he can spare the change. Yes, sir. I'll see you there at noon. And Jamal? Yes, sir? Bring an open mind. The line clicks dead. 2 hours later, Jamal walks into Mama Rose's in his only clean shirt and his father's old dress pants. He spots Harold immediately. The CEO sits in a corner booth out of place among cracked vinyl seats and faded photographs, but smiling as if he belongs. Thank you for coming, Harold says, rising to shake his hand. Please sit, they order coffee. Harold insists on paying. Jamal can't hide his confusion. You look uncertain, Harold observes. I am, sir. I spent all morning reading about you. About Morrison and Associates. And yesterday, I saved your life outside your own building. The words hang heavy. Harold nods. I've been thinking about that. About what happened. About you. Mr. Morrison, I'm sorry I missed the interview. I know you must have procedures. Harold raises a hand. Jamal, do you know what I was doing yesterday morning before the attack? No, sir. I was in my office preparing to conduct final interviews myself for a very special position. Jamal freezes, cup halfway to his lips. You see, I don't just hire anyone. Morrison and Associates isn't just another financial firm. We're trying to build something different, something that matters. Harold leans forward. For 30 years, I've searched for someone who shares my values. Someone who understands that business should serve people, not profit alone. Sir, I don't understand. Yesterday morning, I was worried whether that kind of person even existed anymore. Whether anyone still believed in doing the right thing when it cost them something. Then the panic attack hit. And what happened next? Jamal swallows. A young man missed his own interview to help a stranger. Harold's eyes sharpen. A young man who refused money he desperately needed because he hadn't helped for a reward. The pieces click together in Jamal's mind. His eyes widen. You were supposed to interview me. I was supposed to interview several candidates, but the universe had another plan. Harold pulls out a folder. I've been reviewing your application all morning. Community college graduate. 3 years unemployed, but still volunteering at the food bank. References calling you the most honest person I know. But resumes only tell part of the story. Harold's voice hardens with conviction. Yesterday I saw the rest. I watched you choose character over career. I watched you sacrifice everything for a stranger. I watched you refuse a reward because it wasn't why you acted. Jamal can barely breathe. I didn't build Morrison and Associates just to make money, Harold says. I built it to prove that business and integrity can stand together. Sir, what are you saying? I'm saying yesterday wasn't bad timing. It was perfect timing. He slides a document across the table. Jamal looks down, executive assistant to the chairman. I want to teach you everything. How we operate, how we decide, how we balance profit with purpose. Mr. Morrison, I don't have the experience. Experience can be taught. Character cannot. And you've already shown me yours. Jamal stares at the letter. The salary alone could change his family's life. Harold continues. Full health insurance for you and your mother. Education benefits so you can finish your degree. And in 2 years, if you prove yourself, a partnership track. Partnership? I'm 68, Jamal. I've built something I'm proud of. But I won't live forever. I need someone to carry the mission forward. Someone who understands that our real job isn't managing money, it's changing lives. The weight of it all crashes down on Jamal. You're talking about me. Running the company someday. I'm talking about finding my successor. Yesterday, I didn't just see good character. I saw the future of my company. But why me? You don't even know me. I know enough. I know that faced with a choice between yourself and someone else, you chose them. I know you refused money on principle. I know you believe business should serve people. That's more than most resumes will ever tell me. Harold's smile is steady. Jamal, you didn't miss your opportunity yesterday. You created it. You're offering me a chance to eventually run a $50 million company because I helped you in the rain. I'm offering you the chance to earn it because you showed me something I've been seeking my whole career. What's that? A man who does the right thing when it costs him everything. But Harold isn't finished, not yet. He slides another document forward. Jamal reads the header, the Character Initiative, Morrison and Associates Community Investment Program. What is this? This, Harold says, voice alive with passion, is why I truly need you. Not just for the business. For something bigger, he leans in. Yesterday when I watched you, I realized something. You're not alone. There are others. People who choose integrity when no one's looking, who help strangers, who put values before gain. But here's the problem, good character doesn't pay bills. It doesn't open doors. Jamal scans the page, eyes widening. The Character Initiative. Identify individuals who demonstrate integrity in their daily lives. Provide them with 0% interest loans, educational scholarships, startup funding. One qualification only. Character. Mr. Morrison, Jamal whispers. This is revolutionary. I hope so. We're going to prove that investing in good people is the best business strategy in the world. Harold sits back. But I can't do it alone. I need someone who knows what we're looking for. Someone who's lived it. You want me to help run this program? I want you to design it. From the ground up. While you learn the business with me, your main responsibility will be building the Character Initiative. Jamal's thoughts spin. How would we even find these people? Harold smiles. That's where you come in. You know what true character looks like. You've lived in neighborhoods where people share what little they have to help each other. Harold takes out his phone and shows Jamal a news article. He's already been researching. Just last month, a single mother in Atlanta missed a job interview to help an elderly man change his flat tire. She was fired from her previous job because she refused to overcharge customers. What happened to her? Jamal asks. She's working 3 part-time jobs just to make rent, Harold replies. But she has a business degree and a dream of opening a daycare center. Can we help her? Jamal presses. We're going to help her. An interest-free loan to launch her daycare, business mentorship, marketing support, everything she needs. And all because she chose to help a stranger even when it cost her. Everything. Jamal feels a spark of hope mixed with excitement. There's a veteran in Detroit who spends part of his disability check to buy groceries for his elderly neighbors. A teacher in Phoenix who uses her own money to buy supplies for underprivileged students. A mechanic in Memphis who repairs cars for free when people can't afford it. Harold's eyes shine. People like this are everywhere, but traditional investors ignore them. They don't measure up to conventional definitions of success. So we find them and invest in them, Jamal says. Not just that. Harold explains. We build a network. Each recipient of the Character Initiative becomes a mentor for the next. Businesses that succeed help fund new startups. Together, they create a community that lifts one another up. Jamal studies the proposal in his hands. It's ambitious beyond anything he's ever imagined. Mr. Morrison, this could help thousands of people. Tens of thousands, Harold corrects. his voice dropping to a whisper. Jamal, what if good character stopped being a disadvantage? What if it became a true advantage? The impact would be enormous. But here's the reality, Harold continues. I can fund the initial investments. I can provide business expertise. But I can't identify the right people. I'm too far removed from those communities. He looks directly at Jamal. You're not. The weight of it hits Jamal. You want me to help change the way the business world works? I want us to prove that investing in character isn't just morally right, it's profitable. People with integrity work harder, treat customers better, build loyal teams, and create lasting businesses. Harold shows him financial projections. Even with conservative estimates, we're looking at a 15% annual return while creating jobs, supporting communities, and changing lives. Jamal scans the numbers. They're convincing. But there's something else, Harold adds quietly. What's that? Your mother's medical expenses. Full coverage through our health plan. The best doctors in Chicago. No more choosing between rent and insulin. Jamal's eyes well with tears. And your sister Maya, Harold continues. A full scholarship through our education fund. She'll finish college debt-free. Mr. Morrison, this is too much. No, Jamal. This is what happens when someone with resources recognizes true character and decides to invest in it. Harold rises to his feet. But I need you to understand something. This isn't charity. It's business. I'm investing in you because I believe you'll make Morrison & Associates stronger, more profitable, and more impactful. How long do I have to decide? Jamal asks. 48 hours. But there's one condition. What is it? I want you to find 3 people in your community who need help. People who have demonstrated character when it costs them something. Show me how we could support them. Prove to me you understand the vision. Jamal nods slowly. 3 people. People who prove that character-based investing works. Harold puts on his coat. Yesterday you thought helping one person was a big decision. Now you're about to learn how one act of kindness can ripple through an entire community. What if I can't find 3 people? Jamal asks nervously. You will, Harold says with quiet confidence. Because you notice what others overlook. You see the good in people, even when they don't see it in themselves. As Harold heads to the door, he pauses. By the way, that panic attack I had yesterday wasn't just from stress. It was from fear. Fear that I had built something meaningful but wouldn't find the right person to continue it. Now, I'm not afraid anymore. That day, Harold Morrison offered Jamal Washington not only the keys to a $50 million empire, but also the chance to prove that kindness could change the world. 6 months later, everything is different, but not in the way you'd expect. Jamal Washington stands in the conference room of Morrison & Associates Financial, wearing a suit tailored just for him. But he's still the same man who knelt in a puddle to save a stranger. The only difference is what surrounds him. On the wall, a map of Chicago is filled with green pins. Each pin marks a success story from the Character Initiative. There are 47 pins now. During their weekly review, Harold gestures toward the map. Tell me about Mrs. Patterson. Jamal smiles. Mrs. Patterson, the neighbor who gave me a good luck card before my interview. She always carried groceries for the elderly, even though her arthritis made it painful. She never asked for anything in return. Exactly, Harold says. We gave her a $15,000 interest-free loan to start a grocery delivery service for seniors. Now, instead of struggling up 3 flights of stairs with heavy bags, she runs a delivery business with her own branded van, 2 employees, and over 200 clients. Revenue? Harold asks. $40,000 in her first 6 months. She's hiring 2 more drivers next month. Harold smiles proudly. What else? Jamal clicks to the next slide. Marcus Williams. A young father working double shifts at McDonald's after his wife died. He supported 3 kids and still volunteered every Tuesday teaching children to read at the community center. And what did we see in him? Harold prompts. Character under pressure. Despite everything, he still found time to serve others. The screen shows Marcus now, standing in front of his own tutoring center, bright and welcoming. We gave him a $20,000 startup loan, paired him with mentors, and now he employs 12 tutors, helping over 100 kids each week. He broke even after 4 months, projecting $60,000 in revenue by the end of year 1. Harold nods approvingly. And Maria Santos? Jamal's voice warms. A high school teacher who spent her own paycheck on supplies for low-income students. We saw her counting coins at a dollar store just to buy notebooks. Another slide shows Maria now, in a vibrant classroom filled with resources. She received a $15,000 education grant plus ongoing supply funding. Her students' test scores rose 40%. 3 of her students earned full college scholarships. The school district is now adopting her methods system-wide. Harold steps to the window overlooking Chicago. And the bigger picture? Jamal presents the community report. The 47 recipients of the Character Initiative created 230 jobs in 6 months, with combined revenue of $1.2 million. 0 defaults on loans. 0? Harold asks with satisfaction. 0. Because people with character honor their commitments. Media coverage? We've been featured in the Chicago Tribune twice. CNN did a segment on character-based investing. Cities from 12 states have reached out wanting to replicate the program. Harold turns to Jamal. And you? How do you feel about your role in all this? Jamal glances around the room. 6 months ago, he was counting change for bus fare. Now he's helping design programs that transform lives. Honestly, sometimes it feels unreal. And your family? Harold asks. Everything's changed. My mother's diabetes is under control. She's seeing the best doctors, taking the best medicine, and she's stronger now. Maya received a full scholarship to Northwestern. She's studying business and wants to join the Character Initiative after graduation. Harold grins, following in her brother's footsteps. She says I proved that doing the right thing eventually pays off. On Jamal's desk sits the same photo of his father in uniform, but now in a polished frame in a brighter office. The values are the same, only the stage is bigger. What's next? Harold asks. We've identified 3 more communities in Detroit, Atlanta, and Phoenix. Potential recipients already screened, ready to launch Character Initiative chapters in all 3 cities. Timeline, 6 months. We'll start with 20 recipients per city and scale up based on results. Harold walks to the map and counts the green pins. You know what this represents, Jamal? Successful investments. Proof of concept. Proof that character-based business isn't just idealistic, it's practical. He points to a framed news article on the wall. Morrison and Associates posts record profits, while revolutionizing community investment. Our traditional business is up 30% this year. Clients trust us more because they see our values in action. Employees work harder because they believe in the mission. So the Character Initiative is good for our bottom line. It's essential for our bottom line. Then Harold looks again at the map of pins, each one representing a life changed, a family helped, a community strengthened. It's proof that one person's choice to help a stranger can create ripple effects beyond imagination. But the biggest test of Jamal's character was still coming. 1 year later, the test arrives on another rainy Tuesday morning. Jamal is walking to an important board meeting where Harold plans to announce his official succession timeline. After 12 months of mentorship, Jamal is ready to take on greater responsibility at Morrison and Associates. The same Chicago streets, the same unpredictable weather. But this time, Jamal carries himself differently. A confident stride, an expensive umbrella, a man who belongs in the corporate world. Then he sees her, a young Latina woman, maybe 25, struggling with a stroller on the sidewalk. Her job interview folder is getting soaked in the downpour, papers scattered everywhere. She looks panicked, desperate. Jamal checks his watch. The board meeting starts in 8 minutes. Harold is waiting. The announcement about his future depends on this meeting. But the woman is clearly in distress, the familiar crossroads, the same moral choice that once changed his life. Without hesitation, Jamal closes his umbrella and rushes over. "Miss, are you okay?" "My interview," she says in accented English. "Morrison and Associates. I'm late and my papers." Jamal's heart stops. She's interviewing at his company. Let me help. He shields her and the stroller with his umbrella, kneeling to collect her soggy documents. "Sir, you'll be late for your meeting." "This is more important." Jamal calls his assistant. "Reschedule my 10 a.m. Family emergency." He helps her into a taxi, gives the driver $40. "Get her to Morrison and Associates. Take care of her." "Wait," the woman says. "Who are you?" Jamal smiles and hands her his business card. "Jamal Washington, Vice President of Community Investment." "Tell them I sent you," he says, "and mention that you helped a stranger when you could have focused on yourself." Her eyes widen as she reads the card. "Mr. Washington, why are you helping me?" "Because someone once helped me and it changed everything." The taxi drives away. Jamal stands in the rain soaking wet again, but grinning. 30 minutes later, he walks into the board meeting, dripping water on the marble floors. Harold looks up from the conference table, takes in Jamal's appearance, and slowly smiles. Let me guess. Someone needed help. A woman interviewing for our new analyst position. She was struggling in the rain and I missed an important meeting to help her. Jamal nods sheepishly. Harold stands addressing the board. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the future of Morrison and Associates. He turns to Jamal. That woman you helped, her name is Carmen Rodriguez. Single mother, community college graduate, volunteers at a homeless shelter despite working 2 jobs. Jamal blinks. How do you know? Because I've been watching her for months. She was my final test for you. Harold's eyes twinkle. Congratulations, Jamal. You just proved that success hasn't changed your character. The board applauds, but Jamal realizes something profound. The kindness tradition has come full circle, and now, he gets to pay it forward for the rest of his life. Jamal's story reminds us of something powerful. Kindness isn't just about the moment you choose to help. It's about the ripple effects that spread far beyond what you can see. When Jamal stopped in that storm, he thought he was just helping one stranger. He had no idea he was creating a movement that would change hundreds of lives. Your moment is coming too. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week. You'll face a choice between taking care of yourself and helping someone else. Remember Jamal. Remember that character is what you do when it costs you something. In the comments below, tell us about a time someone's unexpected kindness changed your day, or share a moment when you chose to help even when it wasn't convenient. Hit that like button if you believe good people still exist. Subscribe for more stories that prove kindness wins in the end. And remember, you never know when your small act of character might be exactly what someone needs to change their entire life. Your Harold Morrison moment is waiting.